Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're tackling something truly mind-bending. Plato's Allegory of the Cave.
Ah, Plato's Cave, a classic.
A classic, yeah. But we're adding a twist.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
We're going to try and connect this ancient philosophy, right, to something from modern physics.
Okay, bridging the gap between millennia. I like it.
It's the holographic principle.
Whoa, we're going there.
We're going there. So, what if, and this is a big what if what we see as reality is just a tiny piece of a much bigger, much more complex picture?
That's a question that's plagued philosophers and scientists for, well, basically forever.
Exactly. We've got some excerpts from a document that breaks down Plato's allegory and touches on the holographic principle.
Sounds like a good roadmap for our deep dive.
It does. So picture this. A dark, gloomy cave.
Okay, I'm visualizing.
Inside, prisoners are chained, facing a blank wall.
Chained.
Totally chained. They've never known anything else. All they see are shadows.
Shadows.
Flickering shadows on the wall, cast by objects passing in front of a fire behind them.
Ah, I see. So they're mistaking these shadows for reality itself.
Precisely. They have no concept of the true forms of the objects, or even of the light source, the fire.
Powerful imagery. It really highlights how limited our senses can be.
Doesn't it? It's like they're trapped in this world of illusions, totally unaware of a deeper reality.
Right, stuck in that limited perception. But then, what if one of them breaks free?
Yeah! Imagine that. He stumbles out of the cave.
Into the sunlight.
Blazing sunlight. It blinds him at first. Painful, disorienting.
Wow, that would be overwhelming.
Totally. But slowly, as his eyes adjust, he starts to see things as they truly are.
The true forms of those objects, the sun, the source of everything.
A true philosophical awakening. Makes you wonder, what does that kind of revelation feel like? I mean, to have your entire understanding of reality just shattered.
It would be an incredible and probably terrifying experience.
Yeah.
A complete paradigm shift.
And also kind of beautiful, right?
Oh, absolutely. That sudden expansion of awareness, the awe of discovering something so much greater than yourself.
Exactly. Which brings us to the question, what if, and this is where things get really interesting, what if we are all still trapped in some kind of cave today?
A metaphorical cave.
Exactly. Limited by our current understanding of, well, everything.
It's definitely a thought-provoking idea.
Isn't it? And Plato wasn't talking about a literal cave, of course.
A metaphor for the limits of human perception.
Exactly. But it does make you wonder, right? Are there deeper levels of reality that we're just not equipped to grasp yet?
I mean, we're constantly making new scientific discoveries that challenge our previous understanding of the universe.
Totally. So how does this holographic principle, which sounds like something out of Star Trek, how does it fit into all of this?
Well, it's a serious scientific concept. It comes from string theory, black hole physics, things like that.
Okay, so it's not just science fiction.
Not at all. It's complex, and it's not a proven fact, not yet at least, but there's some evidence to support it. Imagine a hologram, like on a credit card.
Okay, a flat 2D surface.
Right, but it creates the illusion of a 3D image.
So you're saying our whole 3D universe could actually be like a projection of information encoded on some faraway 2D surface.
Exactly. Mind-boggling, isn't it?
My head's spinning a bit.
It suggests that what we experience as 3 dimensions might just be an emergent property of something much more fundamental.
Wait, hold on. You're not saying our world is fake, right? Like we're all living in a simulation.
Not necessarily. It's more about challenging our assumptions about space, volume, information.
So there might be a deeper level of reality underneath everything we see and touch?
Potentially. Just like the freed prisoner, we might only be seeing a tiny sliver of the bigger picture.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to need a minute to process all this.
I think we all do. It's a lot to take in, but it's fascinating, isn't it?
It is. But if we're all prisoners staring at shadows, how do we break free?
Ah, that's the million-dollar question. And what will we find when we do? So this deeper level of reality, it can be, well, a little unsettling.
Yeah, no kidding. Where do we even begin to grasp something like that?
Well, one way is through this idea of information.
Information, like what we find on the internet.
Kind of, but think bigger. The holographic principle suggests that all the information about our universe, everything, could be encoded on a 2D surface.
Wait, so like every galaxy, every star, even us, all encoded on something like a giant cosmic hard drive.
Exactly. It's wild, right?
Yeah.
The entire universe, maybe just information on some distant surface.
Okay, my brain is officially glitching. So you're saying information itself is the key to understanding this deeper reality?
It might be. Some physicists believe that information is even more fundamental than matter and energy. They're saying the universe at its heart is a vast network of information,
Hmm.
always changing, always updating.
So not just stuff, but the information about the stuff is what matters most.
Exactly. And that's where information entropy comes in. It's a measure of disorder, randomness.
Entropy, like in thermodynamics.
Same idea, but applied to information. It's about how much uncertainty, how much unpredictability there is.
So more entropy means more chaos, basically.
You got it. And the holographic principle says the amount of information entropy in any space is limited.
Limited. By what?
By the area of the surface that encloses it, not the volume, the area. It's like, think of a book.
A book. Okay.
All the information in that book, the words, the stories, it's all encoded on flat pages.
Yeah, 2D surfaces.
But when we read, we experience a whole world, right?
Yeah.
Characters, settings, emotions.
So the book is like the 2D surface, and the story is our 3D universe.
You're getting it. It's an analogy, but it shows how much information can be packed into a seemingly simple structure.
Okay, that's kind of blowing my mind.
Mind-blowing is a good word for it. It challenges everything we think we know
Yeah.
about space and dimensions.
Definitely. So back to Plato's cave for a sec. That prisoner who sees the real world, are we saying we're all still stuck in the cave, metaphorically speaking?
It's possible. We might only be seeing a projection, a limited version of reality.
So the big question is, how do we break free? And what happens if we do?
If we can crack the code of how information works in the universe, who knows what we could unlock? Some physicists even talk about manipulating reality itself.
Hold on, manipulating reality, is that even possible?
It's theoretical, but if information truly is the building block of everything, then changing that information could change reality.
Whoa, like teleportation, time travel, that kind of stuff.
Those are some of the ideas being tossed around, but we're a long way off from understanding how any of that would work.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's both exciting and a little scary, to be honest.
Totally. But even if we never get to that point, just thinking about these possibilities is incredible, don't you think?
Absolutely. But we can't get too carried away. All this talk of the universe is information. How does it relate to us, regular people living our lives?
It asks us to see ourselves and the world differently, to consider that we might be more interconnected, more intertwined than we ever imagined.
It's like we're not just star stuff anymore. We're bits of information projected onto this cosmic hologram. Makes you feel kind of small, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. But I think it also points to something really profound, how interconnected everything is.
Interconnected.
If information is the fundamental fabric of reality, then we're all woven together, in ways we can't even grasp yet.
Whoa, that's deep. Every thought, every action, all part of this giant web of information.
Exactly. It's like we're characters in this huge cosmic story.
Right.
Way bigger than any one of us.
And that story might be way more complex than we can imagine. But doesn't this bring up some big philosophical questions too? Like, what about free will? If everything's predetermined by this information, do we really have any choices?
That's a tough one. It can feel like we're just puppets on strings, right?
Yeah.
No control over the bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of takes the magic out of things.
Not necessarily, though. Think about it. Even if our actions are predetermined at some deep level, we still experience them as choices. We feel emotions, we learn, we grow. None of that goes away.
So it's more about understanding that the stage we're playing on, so to speak, might be more complex than we realize.
That's a great way to put it. Like those prisoners in the cave, focused on shadows. The holographic principle doesn't invalidate our experiences. It just suggests there might be more to the story.
Okay, I think I'm following you. But this idea of manipulating reality, it's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah.
What are the ethical implications? We're talking about messing with the fabric of existence.
You're hitting on a crucial point there. It's something we need to consider very carefully. If we could change the information that makes up reality, the responsibility would be immense.
Like we'd be cosmic programmers rewriting the code of the universe. What if we make a mistake? Where's the line between exploring and, messing with forces we don't understand?
Those are questions we can't ignore. As we learn more about the holographic principle, we need to develop ethical guidelines alongside our scientific advancements.
To make sure we're using this knowledge responsibly, it's a lot to balance, isn't it? Pushing boundaries, but also being aware of our limitations.
Definitely. But even with all the challenges, I think there's something incredibly exciting about this. The holographic principle forces us to question everything we thought we knew about the universe and our place in it.
So for everyone listening, what's the big takeaway from all this? What should they be thinking about?
Be open to new ideas, even if they
That's all.
seem strange or difficult at first. The universe is full of mysteries and we're always learning. Embrace that journey of exploration and discovery. You never know what incredible things you might find.
Well said. So to all our listeners out there, remember Plato's cave, remember the holographic principle, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep that curiosity alive. Until next time, happy deep diving.